Hey YouTube, I felt like I needed to make a recording specifically around turn rate or turn speed because in the games that I've been playing that I haven't been recording, I'm noticing a lot of friendly fire because people don't seem to understand the turn rate of a player, especially in, for example, like an exosuit or using certain secondary weapons or even primary weapons. Um, so I was hoping to actually just go through a quick little demonstration of that. This video won't be long. I set my game to private so no one else can join. I'm doing a level 1 planet and not doing objectives. I just want to demonstrate turn speed because, again, I don't think people understand what it means, or people tend to be too hasty in shooting, like after, or like, shooting after they, or while they're turning, I should say. So I'm going to choose a few things that have slow turn speeds, and then a couple things that have faster turn speeds. So I'll do an exosuit to show as well. There's too much friendly fire because people are impatient when they turn, is my point. So we need to go over turn speed. What do I have? I have an Exo Rep 80, I have my Scorcher. I can always switch to a pistol and show you the turn speed of that. I'll do the Obliterator, and then what else is a good one? The laser cannon's probably another good example. Okay, so let's do this.
Mission commencing.
So turn speed is literally how fast you can turn, and the speed in which you turn is dictated by what it is that you have in your hands. The exosuit also has quite a slow turn speed, and I will demonstrate that. So anytime that you actually want to aim at something or shoot at something, you have to wait for your character to turn. And a lot of people get excited, which is understandable. Like, you get excited, like, okay,
on its way.
that's fine. However, it will lead to a lot of friendly fire.
Dropping equipment. Repeat. Supplies incoming. Dropping equipment. Dropping equipment.
So this is the Scorcher. Okay, it's a high damage weapon, AoE, area of effect, with a fire debuff, so it does heavy damage. But a couple things that are actually wrong with it is it goes through a lot of ammo, and you can't shoot up close, and you have a melee attack with it instead of a bayonet, so it's bad in that aspect. But in higher levels, it can be very good, especially if you are mindful of your turn speed. So let's say I have my handgun out. Okay? Now let's say an enemy appears behind me. Okay, you see how fast I was able to turn there? It's actually incredibly fast with a handgun. Now if I switch back to my Scorcher and I turn, it's actually a little bit slower, I would say, visually. Now if I pick up the LAS-98 and I aim it and then I turn, you see how much slower that is? This is the secondary LAS-98. It's very slow. So now if an enemy were to appear behind me, people tend to do this. It's very slow. So even if you're not shooting and an enemy appears behind you, even if you had patience, let's say that you understand turn speed and you understand you have to aim first before you can start shooting. Even if you do wait, it takes a long time for you to turn, and this amount of time, your friends could be in trouble. Someone might need cover fire. You might have enemies pounding on that launch pad rocket. So you have to be mindful of that. Now, what I do when I have a weapon that gives me a very slow turn rate is I simply readjust my feet. So instead of actually turning 180 degrees to shoot at something behind me, I instead adjust my feet, just like that. Adjust my feet. Adjust my feet. Adjust my feet. It's actually a little bit quicker. You can flick the stick. If you're on a controller, you can flick the left stick to reposition your feet, and you can aim that way instead. Same thing with the Rep 80, I would say. Like if I need to aim, like this is actually just as slow, I would say, as the LAS 98. This is really slow. Okay. So now if I want to aim behind me, I would readjust my feet and aim. Readjust my feet and aim. Readjust my feet and aim. Okay. So now if I pick up the obliterator, let's see what the turn speed is of this. It's actually pretty quick. I'm able to actually turn pretty quick with the obliterator. Okay. Now let's see about the exosuit. So you can imagine this clunky thing is going to turn slow. Very slow. Okay. So especially in this mech, in this exosuit, a lot of people have the habit of seeing an enemy that's behind them and then shooting. Or like they'll turn halfway and then start shooting. It's kind of like a turret. Like the turrets, especially the one with the minigun turret, that will start shooting moments before it even locks onto the target. So a lot of people in these exosuits, they turn, and then when they're like kind of close to the target, they start shooting. And that's what kind of leads to like a lot of friendly fire, a lot of accidentals, and it's just not good for the team. So I hope that this video at least outlined turn speed and turn rate. Different weapons have different turn speeds and turn rates. The rifles, I believe, turn pretty quick. The handgun turns really fast, so you can aim very quick behind you. And different secondary weapons also have different turn rates. So part of knowing your equipment really well is just knowing how fast you can turn with it. And if you have a piece of equipment that makes you turn slow, see if you can just quickly reposition your feet first before aiming, especially at the Rep 80 when it comes to saving someone's life. If you have someone that's incapacitated on the ground and they need to be saved, instead of turning around and aiming, which when it comes to life and death is a long time, you would just reposition your feet and aim. Okay? And that's it. I hope you found this informative, and I will try to do another recording maybe tonight, but we'll see. Or tomorrow. I think I'm off tomorrow. It's 4th of July. Alright. See you guys in the next one.